All right, this is Cooper coming back at you with another video. So full steroid and HGH cycle breakdown. The man, the Liver King, the legend, the jacked guy who's always eating carnivore and everything. You will not believe what this guy was taking on his daily stack, his supplements, his steroids. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. In this video, I'm gonna break down a little bit about my thoughts on his cycle, what was released in the emails as far as what this man is taking every single day. It's absolutely insane. For those of you guys that don't really know who the Liver King is, I'm sure it's basically impossible to not know who he is at this point. But if you've been living under a rock a little bit, I get it. I've been there. You know, I'm out of the know with a lot of things here and there as well, so no worries. But essentially, this dude is on social media, TikTok, making YouTube videos, making reels that have been going viral for probably the past year and a half, 2 years. Dude is jacked out of his mind. I mean, this guy is doesn't even look natural at all. I wouldn't say he necessarily looks as crazy as a bodybuilder, someone who's stepping on stage of Mr. Olympia bodybuilding, whatever, but he is still looks juiced to the tits. I mean, this dude's abs, I'm not gonna go on and on about it, but you take one look at this guy and you see how large his abs are and how low his body fat percentage is, and it's just all right, this dude's gotta be on some shit, 100%. Supposedly it wasn't all, always just this huge influencer, but at this point in time, he's got millions and millions of fans across all these different social media platforms. And part of the reason he's catching so much flack and people don't like him or they're hating him is because he basically went on several podcasts around the world. He was very purposefully trying to blow up his personal brand, and he also sells supplements, so he probably funnels a lot of that into sales for a supplement company and things like that. But he went around on all these podcasts and was just telling podcast hosts face to face, just I don't do fucking steroids. And it's okay, because you look fucking insane. Your abs are fucking huge. That is not natural. And just to people's face, he's just nah, I don't do steroids. Never touch this shit. Don't touch this shit. It's okay, wow. And he just told that story over and over and over again to so many different podcast hosts and on so many different platforms. And he tried to get called out all the time for being this fake natty, fake natural, whatever. And he would just deny. And then our man Moreplatesmoredates, Derek, he released a video called The Liver King Lie, which basically there was leaked emails that very clearly are from Liver King. His name is Brian Johnson. Brian Johnson, aka The Liver King. Super obvious. Anyways, leaked these emails, and I'll post a couple screenshots and it kind of breaks down what he was taking and everything. But essentially, he was taking all these steroids, all these peptides, as well as human growth hormone. And there was these leaked emails which very clearly show that he was contacting back and forth with a bodybuilding coach, someone who obviously knew supplements and anabolic steroids. And he's basically saying, hey, I want to get absolutely jacked to the nines and do this huge push on social media. So I'm going to kind of break down. It's absolutely insane. This guy was on quite the heavy stack. So I'm going to post up on the screen here a screenshot from his actual leaked email, which talks about everything that he's taken. So let's kind of break this down one for one, okay? Or one by one, rather. So the first one is IGF-1. So that stands for insulin growth factor. So this is one of the primary sort of hormones inside the body, at least from my understanding, that facilitates large muscle growth. And so a lot of times what people are doing when they're taking anabolic steroids or human growth hormone is they're trying to increase IGF-1 in the body. So he's been taking that for over a year. CJC with ipamorelin. Well, he says IMAP. That's probably a mistake. It should say IPAM, or stands for ipamorelin. So those are two very common peptides that are used together synergistically to build muscle, to burn fat. And I've actually taken this previously. I'm actually taking this right now. So this is it's a growth. So CJC 1295, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is the growth hormone releasing hormone. And then the ipamorelin is the growth hormone releasing peptide. I might have switched up which one is which. I can't remember off the top of my head. But so he's taking that. That's like not anything too crazy. I would say it's like pretty subtle when it comes to like PEDs and like what you're actually taking. Then ibutamorin. So that is another growth hormone, secretagogue, I believe it's called. And it's also known as MK677. So this one is typically taken sublingually. And that one is going to, it's going to act on your ghrelin receptors. So one of the things that it actually does, although it does also increase growth hormone in your body, it makes you a lot hungrier. So it affects your appetite. And then we've got Omnitrope. So Omnitrope is, it's a pharma grade GH or pharma grade growth hormone. So that is like, way stronger than the first three things. That's just like straight exogenous form of human growth hormone that you're injecting. As well, in the leaked emails, he talks about the dosages that he's using, and supposedly for the growth hormone, he's doing about 69 international units of pharma grade growth hormone every single week, which supposedly is a fucking mega dose. Like it's higher than a lot of professional bodybuilders that like the amounts that they will use when they're going to like Mr. Olympia to step on stage in like the big boy bodybuilding competition. And supposedly it costs, he was paying like $11,000 a month. $11K a month just for your human growth hormone. That's not even to mention the other things we're going to get into and what we've already talked about. All right, so going back to his stack here, what are we looking at? So the next one, so the last three here are anabolic steroids. So testosterone, cypionate, 0.6 cc's per week is kind of a cruise dose. So typically a cruise dose, or when somebody's cruising on steroids, is like what that kind of means is that they've probably used anabolic steroids or TRT in the past, and it's kind of like shut down their natural production. So they need to just be on essentially kind of like a self-administered TRT dose. It just kind of keeps them where they need to be, because if they were to go off of it completely, again, their natural production is basically shut down. So they would have super low T. Their body would not be producing testosterone like it needs to be. And then the next one here, DECA, also 0.6 cc's per week, which is another anabolic steroid, and then Winstrol, 50 milligrams a day. Again, another anabolic steroid. So he's got, let's see, three peptides. He's got one pharma-grade human growth hormone, and then he has 3 anabolic steroids, all stacking that at the same time. No wonder this dude looks absolutely fucking juiced to the tits. Now it makes perfect sense why his ab muscles are like abnormally large, and it just looks absolutely insane. So it's crazy what this guy is taking, but I mean, if you want to get absolutely fucking juiced, then I guess it makes sense, right? You stack all this. He clearly does very well with the supplement company. I think he said in a couple interviews or something that he makes like $100 million a year selling supplements. So obviously he can afford to spend a shit ton of money every single month on PEDs. And when you look at it as an investment, I mean, if you are investing into yourself, into your image, into your body, and your own personal brand, and that's going to, 10, 15, 20, 100x your business, and you need that to increase your sales to get to whatever like goal you're looking to do, then like I get it. It makes sense, right? I mean, if he's building this huge organic following that's like driving sales to a supplement company, then it makes sense. You can either invest the money into looking like an absolute specimen and preaching that, hey, you got to live this way and do this, and also, hey, buy my supplements, or you could spend that on like paid advertising. So, I mean, it is just an investment into the business. I don't hate on him for that. I don't really think there's anything inherently wrong with that. I actually think, I'm quite interested in reading and looking into what, what different people are taking as far as their PEDs and their stacks and their peptides. But people are hating on him mainly because I think he was preaching very much that, hey, I'm natural. You can get to being natural by following the 9 ancestral tenets or by eating carnivore and, taking these supplements that I happen to sell that are desiccated beef liver and organs and whatever. And you can look like me, or you can be incredibly strong and in the, top 1% of health and all this. And it's like, okay, sure, but like, don't force people or don't like tell people or mislead people that they can look like someone who's a fucking crazy bodybuilder just by eating your supplements or by eating liver or whatever, because that's not true. Behind the scenes, you're obviously taking a shit ton of stuff. So I know we're kind of late to the party on this, and most people have probably already looked at this by now, but it's just really interesting, and I wanted to give my take on it. So again, like, I think in my personal opinion, I just really don't care about the whole natty or not, or hey, let me try to be natural. Like, I get it that if you are a jack dude, you're sub 10% body fat and you're natural, and you want to be like, hey, like, I did this naturally, this is what I stand for, blah, 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 then like, cool, I get it. That's fine. I want you to have your accolades and whatever, and like, good for you that you did it naturally. But I don't think there's anything wrong with adults who are well-researched, who are not hurting anyone else, who are, doing the best not to hurt themselves, and doing PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs, using anabolic steroids, TRT, or peptides in experimentation, and to get their bodies and their physiques where they want to be. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I just don't really agree with people who are hiding. I get that he's trying to push this agenda that you can look like absolutely insane by just eating organ meat or whatever, or just taking the liver supplements, but it's like, dude, just come out and like be clean about it. I think there's way more power in that true authenticity than there is in trying to prop yourself up and say you're something that you're not. Because, I mean, look what happened. You're just going to get caught. You're going to get your ass called out. So that's just my take on it, honestly. I on this channel, I'm going to be very open and very honest about the type of PEDs or things that I'm experimenting with, because I like to experiment. I think it's fun, and it's something that genuinely interests me, and I definitely don't want to mislead people, and I don't want to be that guy that is, going out, getting jacked, or experimenting with drugs, or doing X, Y, and Z, and then lying to the masses, lying to a bunch of people to their face about what's going on, when instead I could just be like, yo, this is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I'm experimenting with, and this is like who I am, and just be my authentic self with that. So that's my take on it. I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'm basically just rambling at this point about this guy, but it's super interesting stuff, and I'm gonna post some more videos of my experience with some of these peptides and other compounds and things like that. So I'll wrap it up for here. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.